Hey everyone, how's it going? This is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review. Sorry, my couch is in an interesting way, and yeah, it's just don't know why it's doing that, but hey, hey. But coming at you with another movie review. I was going to do another trailer review, believe it or not, but then I found out that I had not done an anime review in quite some time for you guys, and I've seen a couple of anime movies. I don't think I've been, too far ahead, so it shouldn't be that bad. And I'll probably do trailer reviews, for the next week or so. Just try to get more stuff up and whatnot. But either way, here is the review, and it is, of course, Ghost in the Shell. If you guys can see, Ghost in the Shell. Now, I know with recently the new movie with Scarlett Johansson came out. I know the movie looks good for its own thing, and I'm probably betting it is for its own story and for its own sake. The Ghost in the Shell live action movie is probably decent, and they did what they could with it. And as usual, they used the high watermark of the best scenes of this movie for Ghost in the Shell itself. My one gripe that I could tell, because I've not seen it yet, but my one gripe that I could tell from the trailers is that not nearly is mind-bending enough, and also, once again, they take liberties with the story, because I don't know why Makoto Kusanagi, Major Kusanagi, needed to know how she was made when she knew, what happened. She, like the mangas and these movies, they have their accidents, or they are former agents, and they are upgraded with the cybernetics, and they know why. I mean, everyone on the team knows why. So, I mean, it was an interesting twist, but at the same time, it's I mean, I don't know. I mean, because I know what the director, I think it's Shinji is it Shinji Aramaki again, or oh no, Mamoru Mamoru Oshii. That's who it is. Mamoru Oshii. I mean, I can understand what he was going for this, based off the stories of. Jeez Louise. Oh dang, I am at a loss who the author of this is. I know I could probably oh, Masumane Shiro, the same guy who did Appleseed. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the cover here because I know he's a famous science fiction artist, but I completely blanked and forgot his name, sadly. So, bleh. But either way, now that you know my gripes of the possible comparison, and if I do see the live action film, maybe I will come back and put my thoughts in it. But right now, that's not in the cards for me. But with Ghost in the Shell, this made film here, I mean, there's a lot that you could say about it. I mean, one, I love the animation of it. You can see how they did use some computer technology, but a lot of this film is still hand-drawn. A lot of it is, visually stunning, and that's the one thing that I love about it. It's visually stunning. And the film opens with an equally stunning piece. I mean, you got, like, I think the chief of police and, the chief of police talking to a foreign diplomat that's running into a lot of trouble with the law, and he's getting in trouble to where they're at in Tokyo. And what happens is the guy's like saying, "Oh yeah, you can't touch me because my foreign dignitaryism," and I have diplomatic immunity. You can't do anything to me. So what happens is they're talking, and the main character, her on the front, and a better picture on the back, Major Kusanagi, the main character, she comes in and she's like, "Oh, is that so?" But they can't see her because she was invisible, and she basically shot the diplomat in the head and assassinated him, and then she escaped, and then the chief of police sees her and he's like, you know optic camouflage, and so her body and her self she can bend light. And my one gripe with it is for all the things that they can do, I don't understand why she had to get naked to do it. Like, that's what I like about Standalone Complex and other things that they did later on in the other adaptations of the manga and the show, is that, why did they have to get naked to go invisible? I don't understand that. I like where they don't have to do that in the other iterations, but that's just me. It's a small little gripe, because it's like, I don't know why you would get all that gear on at first just to take all the gear off and get naked to go invisible. It, like, I don't know, it makes a weird bit of sense and or no sense at all. So it's bizarre. But either way, it opens like that, and we go throughout the film to where Major Kusanagi, the other main character, Bato, Togusa, and Ishikawa. I know there are more members in Section 9, but we don't get to see them except for the fourth and last final character, Chief Director of Section 9, Aramaki, who's an old man who basically, talks to them all and everything. And basically, sorry, I know, stop saying basically a lot, but bleh. But what we get is there were a lot more accidents and a couple more murders with some victims that Section 9 can't have an account for. And what happens is people start going missing in some sense and not remembering who they are. So they decide to investigate in it. And what's cool with this is, how do people communicate in Ghost in the Shell? Well, they communicate through, like, psychic implant links in their head so they can talk to each other. The Chief has one, Kusanagi has one, Bato has one, Togusa, and so on. They all can communicate with each other like that, and it's really cool. And what happens is throughout the film, they start tracking down people. Like, near the beginning, sort of slash middle of the film, they find a garbage collector, and the garbage collector is saying, talking about his family and everything that he's been through, and he wants to see them, and he's racking them numbers on a phone card that his friend in the garbage truck with him, his assistant, doesn't understand why he's doing it, but, he's like, well, it's to talk to my family. And he's like, well, who's helping you out with all this anyway? There's no way on a garbageman's salary that you can afford all these calls and all these, high-tech things that you have. And he's like, oh, there's a friend of mine. And then by the time that Bato, Togusa, and Major Kusanagi are on the scene, you have the garbage truck man basically take off crazily as he's trying to catch up to his informant who gave him all this stuff. And he yells at him and says, hey, they know. And that leads to the awesome gunfight and chase scene through the streets of Tokyo and in through the reservoir water ditch, where Kusanagi once again goes invisible and starts attacking the guy and tackling him. And it's a really cool, awesome fight scene. Probably one of the best in the whole movie. But sorry, I was going to say it again. But what Section 9 finds out is that the garbage man was a patsy, and the informant assassin guy was trying to kill Kusanagi, and the others was another patsy as well. So somebody implanted memories in these two people. Everything that they had was fabricated, and they couldn't remember how. Like, the garbage man had no family. He had no wife and kid. He had no connection with anyone. He just lived by himself in a crummy old apartment, but he remembers weeks and weeks and even years of spending time with his family, giving birth to his daughter. And it's a lot of creepy stuff that they have that goes on, and it's, I mean, long story short, it's pretty damn nutty for what you see. And, you know, it continues until Major Kusanagi runs into the Puppet Master. And who the Puppet Master, which I believe that's who it is, Puppet Master, yeah, I do believe so. Let me check something here. But I believe it is the Puppet Master. Yeah, Puppet Master. And the Puppet Master is like a character who is like an artificial intelligence that I guess the government in Tokyo and around the world was making for, I forget the company's name, but it was a certain company that was focusing on making the Puppet Master. The Puppet Master was this program that could jump into anybody who had an implant or a psychic neural link or anything like that, and you could just mess with them. And I guess the Puppet Master was trying to escape and find out if he was really alive. And this intrigued Major Kusanagi, because throughout the film, in many ways, Bato is in on this too. Major Kusanagi and Bato question what they go through. They really question, you know, we're doing what we can for the government, but are you and me really living? Are we really experimenting what we have? Are these bodies of ours even real? Or is our minds the only thing that's left of us that keep us going? Because they mention in a scene, Bato says, well, yeah, if you ever wanted to quit Section 9, you know, you and I are in it for life, because if you or I or anyone else ever quit, you'd have to give back basically your entire body, because your entire body belongs to the government in a creepy scene. So they start to question, like, what they hear, and both Bato and Kusanagi are voices, and they're really questioning their substantialness in life. And that's part of the mind-bending thing, because they talk about a lot of philosophical things. What make us human? You know, are we real? What is the mind? You know, and it goes and tells that through great visuals and through great action and, and storytelling. Now, granted, they go so deep in this movie that this movie really questions that fabric, and it's probably something you're not going to pick up with your first watch through. Because when I first watched this movie, I found it pretty good, but at the same time, I was disappointed at first because I didn't understand any of this movie. I didn't get any of this movie at all. But at the same time, I enjoyed the movie well enough to, you know, like what it had to produce and what it did. So, you know, at the same time, I really loved how this added so much to just like everything. And I mean, it took a few watches, but I realized that yeah, the whole movie was talking about whether the Puppet Master was alive, like what is life and what is this and all that. And it's still cryptic to me, and I'm still trying to figure out everything that goes with it, because this movie is like enriched in that storytelling, and there's a whole underlying thing within it. So prepare yourself if you like that type of stuff. But other than that, you know, it's a really good film. It's a mind bender, great action, great characters, and even the English dubbing is really good in this movie. Like, for instance, you have Mimi Woods, who I hit because they don't really give you the English voice cast for this movie at all. I don't think. Sorry, I know I'm sliding down here, guys, but my cushion cover is like literally coming up on me here, so I do apologize. Hold on one moment. What the hell? Hello? You did? Well, yeah, I didn't get anything.
Okay. Well, I won't bother you. I'm just gonna
Oh, no, 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 that's alright. So, sorry about that, guys. But, a friend of mine came in and wasn't expecting that at first, but hey, moving on. But either way, has a great voice cast, and, oh, yeah, that took me out of it for a bit. Oh, yeah, has a great voice cast. The English voice cast is just as good. Major Kusanagi is, voiced by Mimi Woods, and she's really good, and she's accurate. I do like her. I forget who they pick later for Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, but I like her a little bit more. But I gotta give credit to Mimi Woods because she really went well with the character and for how philosophical Major Kusanagi is. It probably wasn't the easiest character, so I gotta give Mimi Woods a lot of credit. Bato is voiced by Richard Epcar, and Richard Epcar does a great Bato. Really knows how to get that tough guy in there. Gives great standing and everything and all that. So awesome stuff. Plus, to the same degree, you have William Knight, who voices Aramaki, who just like I believe Richard Epcar has always done the voice of Aramaki. He's a veteran voice actor who's done tons of stuff, and at the same time, his voice is very, very distinguished throughout anime. So it sticks with you like that. Then let's see, because I know there's a few other mentionable names. Oh yeah, this one I had no idea. Tom Weiner does the Puppet Master, and Tom Weiner, I think is more famed for the 90s anime. I mean, he does a good Puppet Master, very slow, very distilled. But yet, the Puppet Master, I shouldn't say because he wanted life that he was technically a good guy. He was really a bad guy because he was craving life any which way, that he was desperate and willing to kill anyone to hold on to it. So he's not really a good guy, I should really say. Christopher Joyce did Togus, and once again, another early 90s voice actor. Because, the movie was done in 95, and I think it came to us in, 96. So, 95, 96. So, Christopher Joyce did Togusa, another 90s actor. Did pretty good for what he could do. I mean, Togusa wasn't featured in a whole lot of heavy scenes, but he still was in the movie pretty well. But, he did pretty alright for what he had to do. Crispin Freeman, and once again, not putting you down, Christopher Joyce, but Crispin Freeman, I think his voice lent better to Togusa, but I'm not going to take anything away from Christopher Joyce as well. And then, I believe I saw this other one, Michael Sorge. The great Michael Sorge did Ishikawa, and Ishikawa is a great character, another one I like. He's usually the guy who gets all the information on the cases and does a lot of the sleuthing. He's not really focused high within the action, but he'll get involved if he has to. But Ishikawa is more like the sleuth of Section 9. He was a great voice. Michael Sorge's voice lent really well to him, and I really like Ishikawa. And Ishikawa is focused a lot more in the standalone complex series, but is not completely shown within the within the movies. A little bit more in Ghost in the Shell too, in a sense, but I'll get into that one later. So, overall, if you guys have not seen Ghost in the Shell, I would definitely check it out. Take a look at it, see what you can do, because, I mean, if the film is too philosophical for you, I won't blame you, because I got the film because I liked the concept of Ghost in the Shell. I had no idea the original movie was going to go way out there, because Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is sort of what I started with. I started with the TV show rather than I did the movie, and the TV show was already way out there for an idea and concept. But the movie, the first movie, and to that same extent, the second movie, take it to that whole level that you don't expect to be mind-bending like that. So it's really a thinker of a film. So if it's too much for you guys, I don't blame you, because you gotta have patience with the film, that's for sure. But I still give Ghost in the Shell, I give it a believe I gave it an 8 out of 10. Wasn't completely strong for me for a 10 out of 10, and I think it's because of that philosophical stuff. But, yeah, I give it an 8. I give it an 8 out of 10. So, you know, that's the movie review. What do you guys think of Ghost in the Shell? Have you guys even seen the anime? Do you know it exists? If you do have seen the anime, can you give me an update on what makes the anime and live action film differ? What are the similarities? And is it also, you know, worth checking out? But until then, it's 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review, and I will talk to you guys next time, alright? Okie doke.